So, hello again. It's been a while since my last video, and this time I would like to do a review of the Schwalbe Marathon Winter studded tires. I've been running these since late October last year, 2016, and now we are halfway through winter here where I live, and I guess I should have a little bit over 1,000 kilometers on these tires. As you can see, we have a bit of snow, not as much as we usually have, but for reviewing the tires there's definitely enough snow. And what you see now, this sort of hard packed layer of snow, this is probably the best you can have for riding in the winter. We have had much worse conditions this year, a lot of ice, a lot of rain, and when it rains on a layer of snow like this, it turns into just plain ice, and that's really not so pleasant to ride on. But on this surface you can almost ride your bike as it would be on dry tarmac. So this is a very good weather for riding your bike in the winter. But hey, let's go for a ride and see how the tires perform on snow. Okay, so here we are, and I placed a camera underneath the cargo box on the bike. I want to show you what's going on at the front wheel. And here I'm doing a bit of zigzagging just to show you that you can almost ride the bike as you would on dry tarmac. The grip is really good with these tire on hard pack snow. And soon I'm going to do a few acceleration and braking tests. The first one is going to be the first acceleration is going to be on power level 3, and then I'm going to brake slowly, and then the second time I'm going to accelerate with the power level 5, the maximum power level I've got, and then I'm going to brake a bit harder. And I want to show you whether or not the front wheel is going to be slipping and how the bike acts while braking. So here comes the first acceleration and braking. So as you could see, no slipping at all, and this will be a slow controlled braking to a full stop. That went well. And now I'm accelerating on power level 5 and still no slipping. So, and there you could see I locked the front wheel but stayed in pretty good control. It was just sliding straight forward. Did not try to go sideways at all. And now I'm taking you on a forest path. Actually, it's pretty wide and it's still hard pack, but it's definitely not the kind of surface you would probably want to ride on with this bike or these tires. But as you can see, they perform well here too. So anything hard packed will work well with these tires. Even ice, as I mentioned there in the beginning, we've got a lot of days where the roads were just plain ice. You could really skate on the roads, and of course then you have to be careful, but still I went back and forth to work with the tires and with the bike, of course. And the grip, it really surprised me how good the grip was. But of course, in those conditions, it's good to be careful. So I'm just going to ride up to the blue house you see there. That's modern Finnish living. This is a pretty new area where these houses are. That's what our houses look like, built in recent years. And I'm going to do a few more braking tests going down the hill, a bit more aggressive, and then head home to wrap up this review. And you can see even when the front wheel is locked, you still maintain a pretty good control over the bike. And of course that might be due to the very long wheelbase I have. I guess that's probably helpful there. But I'll continue back on the yard and let you know my final thoughts on these tires. So that was the ride, and let's take a closer look at the tire tread pattern and the studs. So this is what the tire looks like, and you can see that the studs are quite small, but there's a lot of them. This front tire, which is 20 inch, I think there was 168 studs on this tire, and in the rear I think there were 260. I have a 26 inch rear tire. The pattern is not very deep, but it has these small sort of, I don't know what to call those, but the idea is probably that the knob itself sort of grabs the surface it's on to increase grip. So it's not just the studs that gives you the grip you have, but the tread pattern itself. And you can see I've lost a few studs here and there. I think I counted them once, and there were, when I did that, there were over 10 studs lost in the front tire. And I think that's due to, this is the drive wheel with the electric motor on. In the rear, when I did the counting in the front at the same time, I had lost 2 or 3 studs back in the rear. So I can definitely recommend this tire if you are not an electric bike rider. You will probably not lose more than a few studs per tire in one winter. But as it turns out, the studs are not so well fastened, and I guess especially in those hard braking situations or some cornering, some high traction, and you brake at the same time, that's probably where I've lost these studs. But Schwalbe sells a set. I think it comes with 50 studs and then a tool to insert them with as well. And I was thinking I will get that set for next winter. Try to run these tires for as long as they last. So for electric use, I don't know if there are better tires out there. There probably are wider tires with more aggressive tread pattern, like the Schwalbe Ice Biker Pro, but on this bike it's difficult to fit those tires. In the rear it's impossible, and of course in the front, when the front wheel is a 20 inch, I'm not 100% sure, but this is definitely one of the few, very few options available at all. So considering that, it's probably your best bet if you have a 20 inch front wheel on your cargo bike and ride in the winter.
Okay, this was my short review of the Schwalbe Marathon Winter studded tires. So I've been pleased with them, and other than losing studs on the front wheel where I have the front electric drive, I don't have much to complain about. I noticed that for me, tire pressure around 3 bar is the best. I tried with 4, but I felt I lost too much comfort, and so 3 has been what I'm using, both front and rear actually. And I think that's a good compromise between roll efficiency and comfort. So thanks for watching, ride safely, and see you next time.